Welcome. Notice my party hat? It's the second week of distance learning. We did it. Okay, enough of that. First thing I want to talk about is CNN 10. Friday we had assigned the CNN 10 articles, and it seemed like we usually get a lot of discussion in our class about CNN 10, and I can kind of figure out what you guys are talking about. Without any discussion, it makes it very hard for me to understand very cryptic answers. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of students' works. Two of them got 100%. One person did not. Their names are not on it, but let's take a look at what people wrote. And a lot of these are what the whole class kind of did. So here's the first one. This person wrote an awful lot. Here, let's see. Let me zoom out just a little bit so we can see the whole thing. So what they're saying here is the first news story was about the spread of COVID-19. There are about 50 hospitals that are using face masks, 250,000 face masks, and people are also teaching others how to make them at home. So that is the first lead story. Then they go into their second story, which describes false information being passed on social media, and that people are saying to swallow bleach and illegal drugs to help stop the virus. Very clear. I understand what they're saying. Here is another person. Let me back it up just a little bit. So they're saying that the coronavirus continues to spread throughout the U.S. and not only the U.S. And then in the second part, they say the coronavirus isn't the only thing that's spreading. Misinformation online is rapidly growing and spreading as well. These are 100% correct. They're clear, easy to understand. The 10-second trivia answer, Franklin D. Roosevelt. This is important because, like difficult times in World War II, President Trump is echoing a positive message that America can get through this, and as we have done it in the past. Now, I've also, people who have shared this with me, I've given you individual comments and feedback on your email. So if you go and check that, you can see the doc that you created. Some people I emailed also. If you didn't receive an email from me, it's okay. The comments are going to go through it. Now, here's another question, another person's work. Now, this work here, the coronavirus is still spreading. I understand this first answer, but it's not a complete sentence. There's no period. It doesn't start with a capital letter. So I do understand what they're saying, but where is it spreading? You need to tell me what is going on. The first one is explained to me very clearly that there are about 50 hospitals that are using 250,000 masks, and people are trying to teach other people to stop the spread and make them to also make things at home. This other person is telling me that it's not only in the U.S. but all around the world. So I understand exactly what they're saying. This is unclear. We got to work on being clear with our answers. Next one, describe the other news stories. Fighting Corona online. Again, it's unclear. How are you fighting coronavirus online? What does that mean? Are they using videos? What I know that they're talking about the misinformation of people swallowing bleach. I know in here they're talking about people who are saying to use illegal. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the one that says swallowing bleach. Swallowing bleach and illegal drugs to help stop the violence on social media. This person is saying that there's just misinformation rapidly growing and spreading. So, what I'm looking for, I do not need you to write as much as this person wrote. They wrote a real lot. All right, excellent job by them. You do not need to write all of this. I do need a complete sentence. I do need to understand what you're saying. These are complete sentences. They're very clear. Easy to understand answers. This is what I'm looking for on our CNN 10 days. I'm also going to assign a CNN 10 video today. You're going to do the exact same thing that we did on Friday. You're going to go You're going to select make a file, make a copy. You're going to change the name to your name, the homeroom, and the date. So if your name is Mr. Brailsford, you would put Mr. Brailsford, 323, 108, Mr. Brailsford 108, 323, 2020. And that would be the name of your document. Then you go ahead and you hit the share button in the top right, the big blue rectangle, and you'll put in my email address, jbrailsford@parkcityprep.org. Now, I've had a lot of students asking me if they can see our work on Google Classroom. A, because the other teachers are all there. B, because some students only have tablets and it's hard to see some of the work as it's posted on my teacher website. So I'm going to continue posting things on my teacher website, but I'm also starting up a Google Classroom now, and I've got the code in. I've invited many of you. If you did not get an invite, use the code so you can complete the work. Okay. We're also going to have to move away from Achieve a little bit, as we are going to be doing this for a long time, as it looks like. We're going to start getting back into the textbook. If you don't have your textbook at home, it's okay. I linked the pages to Google Classroom, and you should be able to read and have the book read to you. Now, let me show you how to have the book read to you. So here, right here is a little speaker. This speaker, if you click it, will allow the text to start reading. So let me move my mouse somewhere where I can see it. Okay. I move my mouse to the speaker. Just click the speaker.
The story of Gilgamesh. 3,000 years ago, a writer inscribed clay tablets with a story about Gilgamesh, the legendary king of Uruk. Uruk was a real city in the ancient Middle East, and there probably was a real...
Right.
The story of Gilgamesh. Nearly 3,000 years ago, a writer inscribed...
Sorry, I moved everyone around. Everyone's all dizzy, I'm sure. By using the speaker function, it'll read the text to you. We're going to read pages 79 to 81. It follows the legend of a real person who was a king of the city of Uruk, or Uruk as they're saying here, Gilgamesh. Now there's a fictional Gilgamesh and there's a factual Gilgamesh. Fictional Gilgamesh, they say, was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. And he was 10 feet tall, and he had the strength of unimaginable. He had unimaginable strength. You're going to meet another character named Enkidu. Enkidu is a man who is kind of like a beast, but has equal strength to Gilgamesh, and he becomes Gilgamesh's friend. And as the story unfolds about Gilgamesh, we're going to ask questions about how his character is changing before and after he meets Enkidu, and what that means as a leader. Why is this important? We're then going to compare and contrast. Comparing and contrasting is, of course, looking at things that are the same as we compare them and different as we contrast them. We're going to use a Venn diagram to do that. You guys will see it on my website and on the Google Doc that we're going to work on. If you have any questions, please reach out to me in an email, call or text, or have your parents use Class Dojo to get in touch, and I will do everything I can to help you out. Also, there are some extra text features in today's story which might be useful. So in the very beginning, you can see this timeline here, but there's also a timeline that moves with our story at the top of the page. So as I click here, there's this timeline at the top, which is also telling me things that are happening in the text below. So it's useful to get a quick skim to see where you're going to find the information when you need to go back to the text. We're also going to use something called My Story. My Story is a video and a question off of the video. It's very similar to using Achieve. It's going to ask you for to look for a part 2. You just Part 1 is the video. Part 2 is the question. You're going to use RACE's format. So restate, answer, cite evidence, explain how your evidence connects to your answer, and summarize. I'm only looking for one piece of evidence. You do not have to use two. And you're only using the My Story video as your source. So you would say, in the video I saw, and explain how that connects to your answer. Okay, guys. I know we got a lot going on today. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do the My Story video and question. Then we're going to go into the reading and then follow out with a Google form. Actually preview the questions in the form first, then read. Again, use the speaker button so that it can read to you. That will be very helpful as you go through, and then go back to the text to find your answers for the Google form. Finally, we're going to do another CNN 10 for today. So we're going to do Monday's CNN 10, and you're going to fill out the form the same way we normally do. And I'm looking for complete sentences, and I'm looking for clear answers. So in my emails to some of you, I told you that you did very well, but maybe your answers were not very clear, and that I would look at today's work and compare them on Friday and give you the grade for what you can do today, because I believe you understand what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're saying because you're not clear. So please pause the video, rewind. You're in control of CNN 10 now. You're not in my classroom where I control the smartboard. You can now go back and forth, rewind, move forward, find the facts that you need to answer the questions. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, call, text, email, use Dojo. Get in touch with me. I'll help you out. All right, guys. Good luck. Have a great day.